So this is another example of the Mora gambit, and the Mora gambit in particular is a fairly unsound gambit that ought to leave you at least a pawn down with very little compensation. However, with the proper play against the right lines, with the right move order, your odds go up significantly. So if you play the kind of lines that I'm talking about in this game, this may be of some interest to you. As you see that Black has employed the French defense here. However, he transitions into the Sicilian Paulson type variation with that move instead of d5. And I've seen this before. In fact, Ben Larsen used to do that way back when, a very strong Danish player. So in this particular case, it takes away your ability to do things like play the wing gambit. So what I do is, now Stockfish says push the pawn. I simply transition into the standard line, and then I play the Mora gambit. And the Mora gambit to me is a little more favorable against this formation than against a formation where, say, is e7 and d6. It also makes it harder for him to decline this. I really don't like playing against the Smith-Morra decline. It's no fun. So now we have some typical Mora type moves, and I believe that the Black Knight belonged at e7 to prevent e5 and what's about to occur here. So Stockfish says f6 here, which I believe we've seen in other games. And now we cripple the kingside pawns and go after the rook pawn. So in this particular case, let's see what the engine says. The engine says that at first it had us up 1, now it has us as an even game after simply f6. So instead of f6, he plays his king up, and I'm not saying that's the losing move because I don't play knight to e4 here. I move my queen out, which says is not a good move. So once again, it's even. We're walking into f6 here, and that's a hard move to find. Once again, he's very inaccurate, goes down 1. And now what's interesting here is that it says d5 is the right response, and that's something that I thought bishop to e7 was forced during the game, but obviously d5 works really well. So let's see what happens. Now it says rook on f to d1, which I didn't play. I moved my a rook to d1. It seemed like the appropriate move, and to the computer it makes no difference. So in this particular case, you'll see queen to f8 is the only move that really gets him out of trouble here. And we're still up 1, and my opponent just lost his mind and blundered. But what's interesting about this game is, well, this game's over here, as you can see, is that bishop to e6 is the killer move here. I didn't play bishop to e6. However, I played another unsound move in accordance with unsound chess. But bishop takes e6 forces him to take with the f pawn, after which we come back to h5 check. And in fact, it says he can't take it, he's got to move queen to a5. So then we end up pinning his rook on f7 with one of our knights, possibly both after an exchange. So we move there, and I was I had given up my winning advantage here, although it says I'm still winning. He just moves queen to a5. Obviously, there's still a bit of an issue with bishop takes e6, so he takes, the game's over. And so this was just a really poor example of being under too much pressure and too much trouble. Yeah, this was a rating intimidation game. I was rated higher than this player, and even though it didn't show on paper, it showed up in the moves very quickly. So that's it, and